Good morning, ladies. Welcome to Monday's class. We got our usual pull exercises today. So legs, abs always, but then we're going to do back, biceps, all that kind of stuff. We will be using preferably a band like this, what I call the loop band. That's my number one choice. If you have a loop band like this. If you have the other type of band, the long one, of course, I'll show you how to use that for the same exercises. And of course, there, as always, if you have a towel, that would be helpful for if you don't have any bands at all for those exercises. All right, so I'll just give it a minute as usual. Let a couple people jump onto the live. If you're local to the Lethbridge area, Lethbridge, Musgrave Town kind of area, I'm going to make a post today about the in-person class this month. I did put on the calendar what weekend, but I'm trying to solidify exactly what time and day and all that stuff. So just keep an eye out for that post. All right, so if you're just jumping on, like I said, we are going to use a band like this, preferably if you have one, the loop band. If you only have the other type, that's okay. If you don't have any bands at all, grab yourself a towel. All right, so let's get into our little warm-up. So feet are about hip distance apart, toes pointing straight forward. Reach down, up, tip, and twist. Okay, come nice and wide with the feet. Toes are still straight forward. Same reaches. All right, all the way narrow. All right, back to hip distance apart, and then we're going to externally rotate our toes. Turn your toes outward. Reach down, up, tip, and twist. Okay, and then internally rotate the toes. All right, perfect. All right, so first exercise, we're going to grab 2 dumbbells. Depending, so I'll tell you the movement before you decide. So you're going to do a deadlift, curl, press. So that press motion will probably be your limiting factor here to choose your weight. All right, so remember our deadlift is like pushing the hips back. Keep that back nice and flat as you go down. Okay, so deadlift. Keep those weights sideways, curl, press over your head. All right, bring it all the way back down again. And press. Okay, somewhere between 8 and 15 reps is your goal, as usual, depending on what weight you have. Just make sure the last couple are a little bit difficult. And 12. All right, single leg deadlift this time. So we've done this a couple weeks now. If you can stand on the one leg, perfect. If not, have your little kickstand back here. And then you're just hinging forward, stand up tall, okay? Choose a focal point. So have your eyes kind of on something ahead of you that's not moving. So if you're looking in a mirror, don't look at your body. Something just straight ahead. Like I said, if you need to use that little kickstand, that's totally okay. I would rather you do that and have more kind of controlled movements than falling all over the place. Okay, switch up sides. And 12. All right, get rid of those weights, and then we're gonna do our first one with the band or towel or whatever. So I'm gonna work backwards from my least preferred method. So if you don't have any bands at all, you're gonna use a towel. You're gonna grab it with your palms facing up. Your elbows are tucked into your sides, and then you're just pulling it open, squeeze between your shoulder blades, and relax. Okay, so pull it like you're trying to tear the towel apart, and relax. Same goes for if you have this long band. Same thing, grab it, palms up, but then you're actually gonna get a little bit of movement. Okay, so open, squeeze between the shoulder blades. And then if you have this band, that's my preferred one, you're gonna put it around your wrists, still palms up, elbows tucked in, and then open. Squeeze between those shoulder blades. And 12. All right, take a little breather, sip of water. That's our first round. All right, back to our deadlift curl press. So it's like a hammer curl. You're coming up sideways, so just keep the weight sideways the entire time. Deadlift, curl, and then that kind of sideways overhead press. And 12. All right, single leg deadlift or kickstand if you need it. I'm gonna use the same weights here, but if you want to switch up, you can. And 12. All right, switching sides. Whoop. See, I took my eyes off. As soon as that gaze moves, you lose your balance. And 12. All right, switch up to get your band or your towel, whichever version you're doing. Just make sure your palms are up, your elbows are tucked in, right by your rib cage, and then open, squeeze, and let it come together. And 12. All right, so that's round 2. Grab your little quick sip. And back come down. You're always kind of fighting gravity. Gravity wants to pull it down real fast. You just control it on the way down. And 12. All right, single leg deadlift. Here we come. And 12. Okay, other side. Ten, 11, and 12. All right, get that band or towel one last time. Let's go. Palms up, 90-degree bend at the elbows. Open up. Don't let the band kind of slingshot you back like that. Control the motion. And 12. All right, so that's it for our first circuit. We do still need to use the band. Again, that one is the preferred band for an exercise in the second set, so don't throw it too far. All right, so we are going to do a curtsy lunge today. So just as it sounds, you're going to step behind with one leg and then sit down, just like you're curtsying, okay? Once you come back up tall, hammer curl. So sideways again, bicep curl. So curtsy, stick that hip out, curl. Stay on the same side, get that one nice and coordinated, over and over, same side. 11, and 12. All right, we have to do the other side. So a little less coordinated on this side maybe. Not used to curtsying that way. 12. All right, so I hope you didn't choose too heavy of a weight because we are going palms up, traditional bicep curl this time. Single leg if you can, if you need to do the kickstand. All right, curl up, so palms forward, keep those elbows down, chest out. And 12. Other side. And 12. All right, so lay down those weights and then grab your band. So actually I'll tell you, if you don't have any bands at all, you're gonna do a squat side kick. Same thing we did last week if you didn't have any bands, so 12 on each side. If you only have the long band, is where you step inside like this, make an X, and then do your sideways walking like that, okay? And preferably you have the loop band where you put it around both feet, ankles I should say, so step both feet inside, and it's around your ankles. And then we're gonna do our sideways walking. Just kind of slightly bend your knees and your hips, step to the side. Again, no slingshot, just let it slow and controlled come back in. 12 steps on each side would be ideal. If you can get them all in one straight line, perfect. All right, that's 12. That is our second circuit. So again, take a little breather. Grab your dumbbells. So remember, don't go too heavy. We got a lot of curls here, okay? I'm only using 5-pounders here, so curtsy, hammer, curl. And 12. All right, other side. Still going with the arms. And 12. All right, turn those palms outward. Pick a leg. Traditional bicep curl. So palms forward. Squeeze those biceps and control it on the way down. And 12. All right, last 12 with the arms. Get that other leg up. And 12. All right, let's forget the arms for a second. Get your band. All right, so our lateral walks here, just cushion the hips and the knees, step to the side. 12. All arms recovered. All right, curtsy hammers. Here we go. And 12. Other side, keep it coming. And 12. All right, so let's finish these biceps off. One leg up, or your kickstand. Palms forward. And 12. All right, switch it. And 12. All right, get rid of those weights and get your band. All right, here we go. That's it for circuit 2. So third circuit, core stuff, posture stuff. We're going to come down to the floor. So roll out your mat if you haven't already done so. We'll come flat down on our bellies first. We got those swimmers. You go arms straight out over your head, lifting opposite arm and leg. So everything is nice and stretched out. And like I said, opposite arm and leg come up, bring that back down, then do the other. Look down towards your mat. Your head is lifted off the mat, but look down towards you, not like with your head up, like arching your neck. And 12. All right, come up onto all fours. Okay, again, opposite sides are going to stretch out. They're going to stay out there. So you just lift this one time. Hold it. Hold your abs nice and tight. Pull your belly buttons up towards your spine. Good, all right. Come down, switch sides. Same thing. Oh, I'm kicking something behind me. Excellent. Bring that hand and knee down. Go back to the other leg, and then we're going to do our hip lift like this. So kick up just from your hip. You're just extending up towards the ceiling. Keep that knee bent and pulse. So nothing is moving in your core, your shoulders, everything's staying nice and stable. Okay, get your 12 and then switch sides. Perfect. All right, that's our third circuit. Just take a break for a second. Heat must be on here today. It's not a hard workout, but I'm sweating. All right, stretch it out. And we're back to our swimmers. Finish off your 12 there. Hands and knees, so your hands are right underneath your shoulders, knees are right underneath your hips, and then shoot out opposite limbs. Three, two, one, come on down. Other side. And kicking something. Three, two, one. Perfect. All right, then it's on all fours. Lock in those abs again. Which leg did I have out? Left. So back to your hip lift here. I think about that hip, your butt muscle is what's dragging everything up towards the ceiling. Squeeze that butt. Okay, switch sides. All right, one more time. Back to our swimmers. All right, here we go. 12 on each side. We're going to come into a child's pose right after this. If you're feeling your low back, that's okay. Your low back is working in all of these exercises. Some people get a little bit scared when they feel their low back muscles starting to work, but you got to train those just like everything else. And 12. All right, up to our quadruped or bird dog. One more time. Opposite sides. Three, two, one. Switch it up. Three, two, one. Perfect. And switching the leg. Let's do our little butt kicker, hip lift, whatever you want to call this. Donkey kick. Okay, other side. Excellent. All right, come right into child's pose after that. So sit back onto your heels and then stretch your arms out. That feels nice and good after those three. up to all fours and we'll do our cat and cow. Just slowly move between those two positions. Sit on our butt, do our usual stretch that we start with. So legs out in front of you and just fold over. You should feel everything on the back side of your legs going up into your lower back, stretching. Okay, bring your feet in so your bottoms of your shoes are touching. Knees fall open, and then just slight little lean forward. Okay, 90-90. So 90-degree angles, both knees. Lean forward. Other side. Excellent. All right, so we've done the two face down ones. So we can come on up to our half kneel. Whatever leg is on the floor, that's the arm that goes up and over. Okay, switch it up. Perfect. Come up from the floor. Find something to hold on for balance. Pull the leg up behind. All right, other leg. Excellent. And then grab your hands behind your back. Pull your shoulders back. Chest out. All right, that's it. Another workout done. Thank you for joining. Wednesday, 12 o'clock. I'll be here. Bye-bye.